Good evening, viewers. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. You're watching To The Point. Now, history stands testimony for the Gandhis. Every time they've used a one-liner, an explosive, controversial one-liner, especially before elections, it has practically backfired. I'll hark your memory back to 2016, Rahul Gandhi's Khoon Ki Dalali comment. Let's take you all the way back to 2007, where Sonia Gandhi used the comment "Maut ka Saudagar" for the Prime Minister. All backfired. This time around, we're 5 months before the UP elections, and Rahul Gandhi has used the Dharm ki Dalali bab. Will it work or backfire? Here's more. It is beginning to be the most polarizing run-up to a tectonic election, the assembly polls of Uttar Pradesh. After Abba Jaan by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath,
अब्बा जान कहने वाले आसन हजम कर जाते थे.
Now comes the Dharm ki Dalali jibe by Rahul Gandhi.
ये किस प्रकार के हिंदू हैं? ये झूठे हिंदू हैं. ये हिंदू धर्म का प्रयोग करते हैं. ये धर्म की दलाली करते हैं, मगर ये हिंदू नहीं है.
Speaking at an event of the All India Mahila Congress, Rahul Gandhi said ideology of the Congress was opposite to the BJP, and only one of the two ideologies can rule the country.
बीजेपी के लोग कहते हैं कि वो हिंदू पार्टी. तो अगर महात्मा गांधी ने हिंदू धर्म को समझा और उन्होंने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी हिंदू धर्म को समझने में लगा दी, तो आरएसएस की विचारधारा ने उस हिंदू की छाती में 3 गोली क्यों मारी?
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का सानिध्य और सामीप्य.
The BJP was quick to slam Rahul Gandhi over the controversial Dharm ki Dalali statement, asking for a public apology.
मुझे लगता है राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी को इस प्रकार की राजनीति जिसमें देवी देवताओं का अपमान हो कदाचित नहीं करना चाहिए. माफी मांगनी चाहिए.
This isn't the first time that the Gandhis have resorted to potentially explosive, controversial one-liners during the heat of an election campaign. Rahul Gandhi had accused Prime Minister Modi of resorting to Khoon ki Dalali with the blood of soldiers in 2016, triggering off a political controversy. Reminiscent of the statement by party chief Sonia Gandhi when she referred to the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi as Maut ka Saudagar in 2007.
गुजरात की सरकार चलाने वाले झूठे बेईमानी, डर और मौत के सौदागर हैं.
जो हमारे जवान हैं, जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो.
Both comments, Khoon ki Dalali and Maut ka Saudagar, created a political backlash and played into BJP's hands. This time around by using Dharm ki Dalali, 5 months before UP elections, is Congress doing itself more harm than good? Bureau Report, India Today. All right, viewers, so let's take the question that we raised in the beginning of the debate. Will it work or backfire for the Congress? To our panelists, I have Wing Commander Anurima Acharya, spokesperson of the Congress. I have Guru Prakash Paswan, spokesperson of the BJP. And I am joined by Rahul Srivastav, our National Affairs Editor. I welcome you all. I want to cut across, with the permission of our political panelists, to Rahul Srivastav, who will practically set the premise for this debate. And Rahul, you know, let's hark back to the past. Every time a one-liner, potentially explosive, has been used by the Gandhis, it's backfired. Be it 2007, Maut ka Saudagar, 2016, Khoon ki Dalali, now we have Dharm ki Dalali.
Yes, Preeti, you're absolutely right. What is more alarming is that if you look at the statement today, it is perhaps Rahul Gandhi attempting to join that Hindutva bandwagon which has been set in motion by the BJP, and more political parties seem to be committed to that. You had Aam Aadmi Party in Ayodhya, you had Akhilesh Yadav at temples, and you had BSP holding Brahmin Sammelan called the Prabuddha Sammelan. It is virtually a repeat of what happened in Gujarat, what started in Gujarat. You had Rahul Gandhi starting with the Narmada Aarti, visiting 38 odd temples and mats, then in Karnataka. And this formula of maybe Hindu, me too Hindu, did not work for the Congress party, because somewhere there is very little acceptance for the Congress party. So does it make great strategy? That's one point. The second very important point, Preeti, here is, with more parties joining that Hindu bandwagon pushed by the BJP, the alienation among the minority votes is going to get increased, because they can't vote for the BJP, so they have to vote for a Congress, BSP, SP, or an Aam Aadmi party, who are now virtually talking very similar Hindutva overtones, which are not good for the minority voters, because eventually it's fait accompli for them that they have to vote for people who are changing their political language.
Right. Okay, Wing Commander Acharya, let me come to you on this, because he might have said it in the Mahila wing or the women's wing of the Congress. But the question is, you know, none of these statements have ever worked. They've only backfired for the Congress in the past. And, you know, if once again the strategy is to alight on the Hindutva bandwagon, you can't patent the original. It's the BJP is the real McCoy to this.
Preeti, it's like this. In this country, everybody, you, me, everybody follow a particular religion. It can be Sanatan Dharma, it can be Muslim, it can be Christians, it can be any other Dharma. But Congress party has always promoted the secularism, that means Pantha Nirpeksh. We have only one constitution and we believe in that. Now what happens? Anyone, all of us, whosoever goes anywhere, earlier media was not there. Now anybody goes to pay their for their rituals, it is all recorded. And they say you are playing soft Hindutva. Congress never does a politics of religion. Congress does the politics of inclusivity. So whatever Rahul Gandhi has said, he had qualified for it. Because
what did Rahul Gandhi mean by Dharm ki dalali, madam?
Yeah, that's what they say, that they are the promoters of Hindutva. They say they are the backers of Hindutva, but they are the people, their mentality has killed Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi was Hindu. So if they are the backers of Hindu, how they have killed a person who was a Hindu and who was a very religious man, who has said, he has written in Hind Swaraj also.
Madam, what does that have to do with Dharm ki dalali? It makes no sense. 1 second, I want to bring in...
It does make a sense. If you don't want to, you have already, you have already prepared your mind. If you have a mindset, then you will
Madam, don't accuse me of mindsets. Please, don't accuse me of mindsets, right? Let's not get there. You've been asked a question, but it makes no sense to compare what happened to Mahatma Gandhi to the statement of Dharm ki dalali made today. There is no connection. And do not accuse me of mindsets.
Backfires. It's not a thing which is backfiring.
We'll only know in times to come. It has happened, known to have happened before. I want to bring in Guru Prakash Paswan. Guru Prakash Paswan, why are you seeking an apology from the Congress? In the past, you know it hasn't paid them political dividends. This is working in your favor.
Preeti, we must understand, because in your opening remarks you also said, and there was a video played where Madam Sonia Gandhi said Maut ka Saudagar, Rahul Gandhi said Khoon ki dalali, and the people of India strongly responded to him by voting the BJP to power. So we have to understand this, that this is the same person who made fun of the sacrifices made by our Jawans. Khoon ki dalali? What does he mean by Khoon ki dalali? I want to ask him tonight. In the name of secularism, Preeti, Congress party cannot do minority appeasement. The nation is witness to it. The Shah Banu verdict, I want to draw your attention towards the Shah Banu verdict as well, which was intended to give maintenance to Muslim women. Who brought a law against the Supreme Court verdict? It was the Congress party. The satanic verses, which was nowhere banned in the world. Who banned the satanic verses in India under the pressure of Islamic fundamentalist forces? It was the Congress party. In 2007, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh says that is desh ke sansadhano pe pehla hak musalmano ka hai. What do you mean by it? When the Bharatiya Janata Party, when the Honorable Prime Minister says Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, it is not just a slogan but a commitment for each and every one of us. And I was just going
and Mr.
through the
Paswan,
data
you
on
back
this.
it up by
Look
using
at the Mudra
Abbajan
beneficiaries, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan beneficiaries. We need to look at it as a context. It was mentioned because of the refugees from Bangladesh and Myanmar. You don't need to compare apple and oranges.
So, sir, the refugees of Bangladesh and Myanmar have been eating the free ration.
Appeasement.
Okay, sir, I want to ask you a question. The refugees of Bangladesh and Myanmar have been eating up all the ration. Do we have any possible data on it? Because the data that I am looking at doesn't suggest so.
No, ma'am. There is a problem. There is an influx. I don't know which data are you looking at, but there is an influx of Rohingya refugees, and it is provided in many of the NCR
no, sir, the data of the ration.
I can WhatsApp it to you. I can provide it to you as well.
Okay, maybe you didn't hear my question properly, or maybe I didn't pose it properly. So let me rephrase that question for you. The question is, if Yogi Adityanath has said that Abba Jan is consuming all the ration in Uttar Pradesh, had been till he came around, you are saying it was used in the context of refugees. Data suggests that it is not refugees in terms of Muslim refugees. The data of the ration distribution of UP suggests it hasn't gone to Muslims. Refugees or inbound.
What data? No.
Sir, data of distribution of ration.
What data are you looking at?
Data of distribution of ration, your data, sir. So you are saying it all went to Muslims.
Well.
So share that data with me.
Preeti, who is saying that it all went to Muslims, Preeti? Who is saying that it all went to Muslim? The statement was in a context of the politics of minority appeasement that was being practiced by Samajwadi Party. Do you have any other thing in your mind? The Samajwadi Party, we have seen how it provided patronage and gave a structural support to people who did minority appeasement, people who did support the radical elements in the name of madrasa. Is there a lie? Is that a lie? I want to ask you tonight. There was a specific politics of providing shelter to these under Samajwadi Party. You look at the data from NCRB, the number of deaths, the number of rapes, the number of communal clashes that was happening on an everyday basis in the Samajwadi Party government. That statement was made in a context, but the statement today made by Rahul Gandhi, it has hurt the sentiments of Hindus across the country, across the length and the breadth of the country. And that is the reason he needs to apologize. Because his party, like I have cited some historical anecdotes, historical occasions, they have practiced and institutionalized this politics of minority appeasement in the country. How can a Prime Minister of India say that पहला हक इस देश के संसाधन पे मुसलमानों का है? How can you legalize the All India Muslim Personal Law Board? How can you bring a verdict against a judgment that gives maintenance to Muslim women? I want to ask you tonight. So this mentality is not good.
Sir, I'm not the one who has to answer these questions, but I can only
appeasement to none, justice for all.
Okay, sir, I'm not the one who needs to answer any of these questions or should actually answer any of these questions. I need to ask you the questions, and as per data, which many have interpreted, that it has been the Muslims who have eaten the ration, because if you look at prima facie, everybody would look at Abba Jan as a slur which is used for the Muslim community. Everyone, most people would look at it like that. You've come and put your point forward saying that it wasn't about Muslims, it is about appeasement politics. I want to cut across right now. Wing Commander Acharya, you wanted to make a rebuttal, quickly come in. I want to go across to Rahul.
Can I respond to it, Preeti? Preeti, can I respond to it?
Sir, let her come in.
Can I respond to it in 10 seconds?
Will you give...
Preeti, can I respond to your question in 10 seconds?
Sir, please. Respond. Sir, go ahead. Mr. Paswan, respond.
Yes, so I have a data that is by UNICEF. It is a study in 2017. It found that 82% of people felt that their status and prestige has increased due to Swachh Bharat mission. 87% of women felt safer after getting toilet at home.
Sir, and this is not the data. Sir, maybe your data is correct. I am looking at the data of ration distribution. Sir, I understand.
No, Preeti, you are asking about data, so I am giving you data.
Sir, what data are you giving me?
No, it is about all the welfare schemes. It is about all the welfare schemes. Why focus on ration? Why focus on ration? Focus on Ujjwala, focus on gas cylinder as well.
Because the UP Chief Minister focused on ration. That's why. Focus on ration. No other point. Okay, Doctor.
No, he did not focus. No. Preeti, you are taking it out of context.
Sir, I'm not taking it out of context.
In the light of politics of minority appeasement, you are taking it out of context.
Sir, you have come and explained it is about minority appeasement. Anyone who hears it out will assume.
You have every right to. You have every right to interpret it. You have every right to interpret it like you want to, but it was not said in that sense.
My job is to ask you questions. Yeah, Wing Commander Acharya, come in. You wanted to come in for a rebuttal.
if he is consistently talking about minority appeasement, let me tell you, they are doing majority appeasement. If you ask any of the people who are these pseudo-Hinduism spreaders, ask them, what is the first month of your Hindi calendar to the last month? Most of them will not reply. If you ask them which Veda has got whatever contents. If you ask them,
what do you mean by majority appeasement?
No, my point is...
Are you accusing the BJP of majority? I just want to ask you.
Their entire this Hinduism agenda is about or culture. They are the Hindu culture lovers that only subscribes to if you are hating the minority. That is where, therefore, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has referred what he has referred. He said...
Ma'am, what do you mean by majority appeasement?
उनकी विचारधारा सबको डराने की है और हमारी विचारधारा सबको साथ लेके चलने की. That is what he said. And therefore he said, because of this dharma, because you have seen, people say in BJP, if you don't chant Jai Shri Ram, you are not supposed to, you cannot stay, you are not qualified to stay in India. So this is what he has talked about, Dharma ki Rajniti, wherein the Shri Ram, who was such a sober gentleman who always kept ahead his wife, he is taken as a very cruel and very aggressive person. That
Ma'am, they've never said that. Come on, they've never said that. Okay. So I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava back into this conversation. Rahul Srivastava, the fact is, you know, what's the ploy here? You're 5 months before an election, which clearly is going to be setting the narrative for 2024. You're talking about UP, and you're harking back, you know, to a strategy which has always backfired.
Yes, Preeti, that's surprising. If you look at it, 2017, sometime in February, Prime Minister created the Shamshan Kabristan, which worked for the BJP, so much so that the BJP, which had 47 seats in 2012, jumped to 312. It worked for the BJP because the party could create a Hindu monolith uniting several diverse castes in Uttar Pradesh. The opposition realizes this is what is happening. It knows that there is anti-incumbency. It wants to win over certain castes, and it thinks, like BJP, it can use Hindutva as an adhesive or a super glue. But it does not work like that. One more point which I want to make, Preeti, here is that I'm surprised that the BJP spokesperson and the Congress attacking him do not know the context of what Mr. Yogi Adityanath was saying yesterday. It is a story I broke in 2005. Mr. Yogi Adityanath was actually referring to a food scam in Uttar Pradesh in which 35,000 crore known and estimated and 2 lakh crore worth food grain meant for PDS, Jawahar Yojana, Antyodaya Yojana, others, was diverted to 5 countries, prominently Bangladesh, and that is why the Abbajan slur. So it is not some vague attempt. It is basically Yogi Adityanath trying to refresh the memory of the people about a food scam which happened during the time of Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Well, Rahul, you've educated all three of us on this panel today. All right, I'm going to take closing comments there. Guru Prakash Paswan, go ahead, sir.
Preeti, I seriously don't understand. The Congress party has no locus standi to speak on communal harmony. When a big tree falls, the earth shakes. It was the word of father of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, late Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, and that led to the gruesome and brutal killing of Sikhs on the streets of Delhi. Do we need to remind this to
but the BJP is none the richer, sir. BJP is none the richer.
The party is committed to each and every person.
We all know, the BJP is none the richer here.
Let the people of India decide that.
I agree.
Let the people of India decide that.
I totally agree with you.
People of India decide that.
Wing Commander Acharya, 10 seconds, I want to close the show.
Having studied for about 6 years in the RSS school, I know what RSS ideology is, and it's not good for a country. That is what Rahul Gandhi said. He can buy any other ideology. He can consider any other ideology, but he can never subscribe to, even never go for RSS ideology, because it is about divide. It's about getting people scared, and it is about...
All right, madam. Okay, with that, I'm going to close this bulletin. What did Rahul Gandhi mean when he used the word Dharm ki dalali? And interestingly, if you just take in the context of history, will it backfire or work for the Congress 5 months before the UP elections? A quick break. Up next is Rahul Gandhi.